Be me. Starting to get hungry. Time to hunt.png. Look for signs of prey. Track monster to its lair. Break into house and go to the basement door. Can hear the creature breathing heavily. Horrifying sounds of like someone fisting a jar of mayo. They smell of piss and sweat is seeping through the door. Don't even gag anymore because I am a professional. Apply neckbeard oil to my silver sword and chug a Chad decoction. Lay out bait. Hentai and manga with some Cheeto dust. Rumbling coming from the stairs. The door opens. The beast is naked and covered in pimples. Dried and fresh cum all over its body. Stark naked except from a Naruto headband. Medium sized, at least 400 pounds. It bends over to pick up its prize. Dingleberries are large on this one. Spring from behind the living room couch. Slash it as fresh. The creature lets out a mighty It swings its massive weight around, trying to attack. It's out of its lair. It can't see me yet because the sun is blinding it. A few more slashes. The protective layer of grease is rushing to the wounds to stop the bleeding. The creature hits me with a thrashing blow. The autism in hand strength sends me through the wall and into the kitchen. Mommy! Mommy! Bad man attack me! Whee! I made sure the mother was gone before the hunt. The creature is hysterical. Rushes at me through the hole it just made. Drywall scraping against its flesh as the hole widens. Shoot it with my hand crossbow. The bolt sinks harmlessly into its flesh. Suddenly, feces are flying into the air. My arm has been hit and is starting to dissolve. Tear off the pieces as fast as I can. The beast makes it through the hole and rushes me. Time to finish this, .gif. Launch myself over the kitchen sink and behead it in one fluid move. Body collapses to the floor and shakes the whole house. Shit and piss spray everywhere. Enter the neckbeard's lair. Piss bottles and Mountain Dew cans everywhere. Fresh mental wounds cut into my mind. Search through the pizza boxes and cum tissues. This creature has been nesting for a while. Find 2-foot-high pile of poop socks in the closet. On what the creature surely called a bed is a body pillow. The faded image of Tracer, eclipsed in years of semen, can be seen. I continue my search in the near computer area. I finally find it. GBP card is filled to the brim. Throw a dancing star bomb into the lair as I leave. The whole house burns down. Go out and order a mass feast of tendies and honey mussy. Sitting at Mickey D's, enjoying some tendies and honey mussy, procured from stolen good boy point cards, which has senses warn me of danger. The smell of Funyuns, instant ramen, and despair announce their presence before I can see them. A pack of 4 neckbeards walk inside, all wearing fedoras and trench coats. One is carrying katanas. The others have a staff, nunchucks, and those Chinese hand knife things? Overweight mutant virgin turtles at PNG. I finish the last of my nuggies and stand to face them. One of them starts speaking, a voice cracking with rage. We know who you are. We have traced you here. Prepare to die for your crimes against us and our kind. I'm getting sloppy. I must not have cleaned the stench of my last kill off myself well enough. Neckbeards can track each other's piss and cum scents like wolves. These ones haven't evolved into nesters yet. They're able to speak in full sentences and can walk in the sunlight like humans can. Neckbeards in their mid-stage weep form aren't quite as dangerous as they are in their nester forms, but there are enough of them that the threat is real. I tell them, if you know who I am, then you know what's about to happen. I go to reach for my sword. The closest one slices the air with its katana and screeches. It runs towards me. The bulk of the monster's weight lets it crash through the tables and chairs like they were nothing. Do a flip to the side and unsheath my sword. The momentum of the creature has gained is too great for it to stop or turn. It slices into an elderly couple that was sitting behind me, killing them instantly. At least they didn't suffer though, JPEG. The others take their chance while I'm distracted. With a mighty whee, they come at me in a wave. Falling back, I toss my grape shot bomb at the group. The shrapnel embeds in their flesh. One reels back, but the others are unfazed by the pain. People are screaming and running out the door. Falling back further into the counter, I pull out my crossbow and shoot the one with the knives in the leg. The monster falls. One of its blades pierces into its massive tit. The beast lets out an ear-splitting screech and immediately soils itself. The one still charging at me raises its staff to strike. My Little Pony keychain swings wildly at the end. I parry at the last second, stepping to the side, letting my blade cut through the creature's throat. The neck erupts with corrosive Mountain Dew, code red, and half-digested Doritos as the abomination slams into the counter. An employee who was standing behind the counter is showered in it. There's nothing I can do but listen to their screams as the flesh melts from their bones. I'm not paying enough attention. One of the katanas is back in action. A slice from its masterwork maul blade cuts into my side. The pain streaks across my abdomen, and I jump up behind the counter. Nunchucks and katanas slash at the air above me. Their bloated forms are too big to follow me directly over the counter. I can feel the counter starting to give in from their pushing and flailing. I search around in my satchel. I take a pull from my swallow bottle to stem the bleeding, and I can feel something pulsing through my veins. The weeb put Belle Delphine's Gamer Girl bathwater on his blades. I need to treat this soon, or I'll be dead. I somersault over the dead employee. Standing up, I drag my sword into the ice cream machine and flick my sword at them. The liquid ice cream from the broken machine flies off my blade and goes directly into the katana wielder's eyes. The creature slashes blindly and kills its kin. The ground shakes as it falls to the ground and bursts open like an overfed tick. The smell is undescribable. Now's my chance. Throw my silver sword. The tip lands square in its face, pinning it to the wall and killing the abomination. I remove my sword from its skull, and the body slumps forward to the fetid mess the other left. The last one lays injured on the floor. It says something in Japanese. I start stomping its head while it speaks. Can't chance getting cursed while poisoned. Skull caves in. I survey the wild destruction that has taken place. Loot their good boy point cards and take a fedora as a trophy. Walk out of McDonald's. Victorious. Van is parked outside. I can smell that filth on it. One of the neckbeard's mothers is aside. Wink at her and tip my hat. M'lady? Walk into the sunset. Be me, a witcher. Sustain myself on tendies. Mostly dealing with creatures called neckbeards. Steal good boy point cards from them. I need supplies to keep hunting. Ran out of Chad decoction during last encounter. 600-pound big boy with mummy home. Nearly died. Story for another time to give. Chads have a gland on the top of their liver that delivers alpha hormones directly into their bloodstream. Need this in order to make a Chad decoction with alchemy. Gland needs to be potent for it to be effective. Passed up on many lesser Chads. I found one. Still go for a while. Although there are many types of Chads, this Chad appears to be the focal point of a large group of Stacys, Roasties, and Jocks. Stacys all service the Chad sexually. Roasties seek to upserve the Stacys while befriending said Stacys. Jocks feed off the Chad's leftover pussy like a pack of wild hyenas. In turn, they boost the Chad's ego, which fuels the magic the alpha gland runs on. It's a simple but aggressive ecosystem. Buy some tendies with my dwindling good boy point supply. I set my plan into motion. Have to isolate the Chad. Make a fake Instagram profile. Load it with pictures of attractive women. Message the Chad. Doesn't take long for it to respond. The larger the Chad's ego is, the more dangerous it is, but easier to lure. Tell them we can meet at a bar to watch a sports ball game and then bang. Cover my scent with Axe body spray to avoid detection. Go into bar. Use that last of my good boy points to get a drink. Applejuice.png. Lane waits in a booth in the back. Although there aren't many women in here, I can smell the vaginas moistening in unison. The beast approaches. It enters the bar. 7'2", easily 300 pounds of pure muscle. Backwards cap and tap-out t-shirt on. So many rings adorn its fingers, I can't be sure they aren't made of gold. Its chiseled chin brushes against the doorframe and slices a chunk of wood from it. I don't think it even notices. Old Spice and Drakkar Noia seeps into my nostrils. My witcher physiology keeps the majority of the scent, induced fear at bay. The bar goes quiet from the sheer presence of this creature. Through some witchcraft, the music changes mid-song to dubstep. Something comes in behind him. The jocks start filling in, each one wearing a different jersey, all wearing flat-brimmed hats with the price sticker still on them. One is wearing white socks with Nike sandals and basketball shorts. I managed to stifle the urge to vomit. They weren't supposed to be here. I'll have to improvise. The jocks get the permission nod from the Chad and go sit at the bar. They do little without prior approval. The Chad sniffs the air. Its senses are clean. It's searching for the proposed Wu-Tang. Millennia of apex predator evolution makes the Chad a lethal foe. Men in the bar shift uncomfortably in their seats as he surveys the area. The women begin to bare their breasts as an offering. It huffs twice. It can sense the anger beginning to build, engorging the alpha gland with hormones. Its ego has been challenged. The jocks can smell the hormone change and are getting restless. They squirm and try to hide their envious erections for the women who are offering themselves to this exemplary specimen. I need to think fast before this monster starts killing men and sexing the women. The Chad bellows, "Bro! I think that bitch stood me up, bro!" The jocks reply with a chattering chorus of subsequent bros in their own. They're distractive. Finish my apple juice. Throw a Simon firebomb at the bar. The alcohol catches fires and explodes. Jocks go flying. A few are on fire, the others are stunned. The bartender is a smoking husk. Draw my sword. I leap on a table and sprint across tabletops, attempt to close the distance between me and my prey. The Chad is more powerful than anticipated. I've underestimated its abilities. The beast notices me right away. In a single motion, it picks me up and a nearby man with one arm and throws him at me. I take the hit directly to my chest and fly back across the bar. The man dies on impact. People scream and chaos ensues. The sheer force of the throw has broken some of my ribs. It's hard to breathe. I struggle to stand. The jocks are beginning to recover. One charges at me with such reckless abandon that it drops its jewel. I put the lesser being down with a crossbow bolt in the eye. Meanwhile, another, still ablaze, tears the leg off a chair. "What now, you piece of filth?" .jpg. Screaming its fantasy football stats from last year, the creature runs at me and takes a wild swing. I am able to counter the sloppy blow and cut down the beast with a two-handed slice. The sword sinks into its torso and cleaves it down to the hip. The body slides limply onto the floor, almost peacefully. I pull my sword out of its corpse and ready myself for the next attack. The patrons are beginning to run out of the bar in fear. They are clogging the back door in their panic. My escape plan is now impossible. The worst is yet to come. I didn't kill the Chad in time. It lets out an almighty roar that breaks the remainder of the intact glass in the bar. Its massive 5-foot dick tears out of its jeans. The girth is unbelievable. The Chad begins swinging it around as one of the jocks get too close. The jock's skull crumples as the gargantuan peen smashes its head into the wall. The remaining jocks know the fury of his cock and cower behind their patriarch. They murmur intelligible threats from the shelter of his wrath. Skittish and cowardly things. The Chad charges. His skin cannon is obliterating everything in sight. Splinters of wood from tables and chairs along the viscera of dead joints and smoke in the air. I swiftly load another bolt and fire it directly at the P-bus. The bolt skitters across the vein and bounces away. I am hurting bad now. With great effort, I jump as high as I can before its death pipe finishes me for good. I miss its flesh spear, but it slammed directly into the Chad's torso. The monster's love organ pierces the bricks, and an entire back wall explodes into the back alley. I soar through the air and land in a pile of rubble. Bodies of those who were trying to escape litter the ground. The Chad is unharmed. Its wing sways in the wind as he approaches me slowly. The monster leans in to speak to me. The smell of Jaeger bombs, black and mild, and stale muff is suffocating. "What, so you can't fish me, bro? Huh? Are you gay, bro?" The foolish creature has no idea what it has just done. With a weak breath from my banded body, I was able to complete the spell. "No, you." The Chad's face turns red. Its eyes begin to bleed and bulge out of its face. The foul thing's skin begins to blister and burst into green and black flames. The Chad begins to roar louder and louder. I cover my ears as not to go deaf. The beast's head and its mighty mushroom explode simultaneously. I'm shammed with bits of penis amidst a wave of blood. I cough off some blood of my own and stand out of fear or delusions of replacing the Chad. The jocks have fled. I cut the Chad open with my hunting knife and retrieve its alpha gland, putting it in my satchel. I take a steep draught from my swallow bottle. I search the Chad and find its dad's credit card. It'll have to do until I can recover and get my good boy point cards. I'll take his belt buckle as a trophy. Bamf is carved expertly into its precious aluminium. Rain starts to fall. I limp through the downpour, rinsing the Chad blood off me. I should be okay for now, but I need to get the stench off me before I get raped by roasties. Vanish into the night. I choose to hunt on my own terms for the most part. While scoping out potential prey, I'm solicited by a local comic book shop owner. Says that a nester has been leaving his lair and troubling his magic tournaments with tantrums. Offers me 80 tendies to be rid of it. I say half up front and half later. Stake out at a Wendy's that is close to the strip mall. Feasting on the tendies with a hussy mussy. I scarcely needed the description I was given. A van pulls up to the shop. A 600-pound beast steps out of it. I can hear the relief of the vehicle's suspension system as it exits. I put the rest of my tendies back in my satchel. As the van leaves the parking lot, I run and jump onto the roof. I'll be waiting for this one when it returns to its lair. I arrive at the house. The mother leaves to go inside. I open a window and slip in undetected. I can hear her gentle sobs as she goes upstairs. The house is clean, but the smell of piss is still detectable in the air. I find the door to the basement. The pungent aroma of stale cum and sweat stings my eyes as I open the door. The mother has to let the creature have full run of the basement. Jimmy John's and Taco Bell bags scattered across the floor. Anime posters are plastered all over the walls. There is a bookshelf stocked with manga, gin, and various Japanese action figures. A Guy Fawkes mask on a hook hangs from the side. There's a picture of the Beast and its mother trick-or-treating last year. The mother has an expression of defeat on her face. It shows a traditional Heath Ledger's Joker, which is common amongst its kind. Various small ninja weaponry mounted on a wall. There's a sunken and previously broken armchair in the front of a flat-screen TV with greasy fingerprints in various consoles. A picnic table with a lone computer, sparsely covered in Doritos in the middle of the room. Notice that the basement has lazily been dusted. Take a closer look. The piss and cum stains in the front of the chair have all been wiped away. The advanced form of creature and this level of cleanliness doesn't add up. There are no piss bottles. I can't smell any fresh fecal matter. And then it's a good boy point card on the TV stand. It's empty. They've all been spent 2 days ago. It says sleepover in the memo line. Hear a car pull up. My heart drops in my stomach. LAN party. I'm out of time. The ceiling shakes with the footsteps of many good boys.
Mommy, I'm home! Me and my friends are gonna play games!
The door opens. Each step bends the boards to their limit. I dive and hide under the bed in the corner. Comfy juice carpet underneath me. Horrifying and foul beyond reason, but they will mask my scent and serve as camouflage. Find a crumpled high school diploma to shield my face from direct contact. They wheeze as they gather around the table. Each drops off its gaming PC and begins to hook them up. The horrid smells of body odor and unwashed underwear mix in a putrid harmony. This nester has accumulated non-virtual friends. Social skills at this stage of evolution, however limited, are rare in these creatures. I risk peeking out from under the bed to see what I'm up against. Their stretched 2XL t-shirts are bursting at the seam. One has a top knot and a Quinzo's t-shirt. I see one of them has a hoodie decorated with black and white hentai. My Pepe medallion is humming. This one can wield powerful magic. There is a skinny one with a fresh Attack on Titan tattoo on its calf. From what I can tell, it has just transitioned from autist to a weeb. Practically an infant. The biggest boy, which is my prey, has put on a kimono. The creature has been referred to as Goku by others. I cringe so hard it's painful. They are giggling and quoting JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I am trapped. One can't find the plug for its computer. Goku says that it has an outlet under its bed. I steel myself as the smallest creature volunteers to find it and gets down on the ground. We lock eyes. Before it can react, I stab it in the face with my knife. Whee! My blade is stuck and pulls from my hand as the creature thrashes on the ground. The confused noises come from the others. I roll out from under my bed. The caster begins to speak Japanese. Goku rushes to the wall of weaponry. Quinzos is still trying to assess what's happening. I throw a Moondos bomb at the caster. The silver shards pepper its flesh.
Baka!
Its magic is diminished, but it won't last long. Quinzos gains its bearings and rushes me. I jump using the bed to spring myself higher and smash the creature in the face with my knee. Blood gushes from its broken nose. It falls backwards into the PCs. Whee! The monsters screech together at the loss of their only joy in life, their portal for both love and entertainment. Goku retrieves a spear from the wall. The caster is chanting again. I chug the last small mouthful of my chant decoction. I pull the sword from my back and charge. The caster sends a ball of rancid piss. I duck past the bolt as the concentration hits a concrete pillar behind me, turning it to molten slag. I raise my blade to strike. The caster lets out a deafening burp. The residue Diet Dr. Pepper singes my hair. The force stuns me for a second. Goku seizes the chairs and spears me in the shoulder. My armor absorbs the blow. I fall backwards over Quinzos and roll on top of the one I just stabbed in the face. The creature is wailing and has shit its sweatpants. I drop my sword and grab the sides of its face, snap its neck. With a sucking noise, I rip my knife from its face. Goku hasn't made it across the broken PCs to me yet. Toss my knife at it. Goku manages to partially deflect the throw. The blade lands into the beast's forearm. The resulting screech has been drowned out by chanting. The caster is back to full power. begins shitting directly into its hands and throwing it at me. I roll behind the remains of the concrete pillars. As the corpse of the small one is pierced with spikes made of shit, I can feel the effects of the Chad decoction. I stand and rush once again. Kunzis is back on his feet and scrambling over the computers towards the weapons. Time slows as I approach the caster. It can sense the temporary alpha aura given to me and hesitates. I run the creature through him with my sword. Piss and shit gush out of its shorts. I manage to avoid the volatile reaction as the mixing of liquids catches fire. The pool quickly reaches the PCs and starts to burn them. Neckbeard physiology is too chaotic to have predicted this. Quinzos has reached the wall and takes Wolverine claws from it. It turns to face me, bloody snot and tears running down its face. Goku rushes to join the monster's side. The exit is to my right, but I am cornered by the beast and the fire is getting bigger. Quinzos attacks. He has 2 heavy swipes. I dodge both of them. Without missing a step, I twirl my blade through the air. It passes through the back of the beast's neck and out the front. The top knot unfolds as the head rolls onto the floor. Goku steps forward and spears me in the sternum. I drop my sword. It leverages its mass and pins me into the corner. I can feel the hot blood running down my legs. Backlit by the blaze, the monster laughs. Its tits invisibly jelly jingle with delight.
There's no mercy in this dojo.
The Family Guy reference causes me to cringe, expediting my blood loss. This is the end. This abomination is fearsome and unyielding. 3 weebs and a nester in its own lair. The odds were never good. Suddenly, a voice comes down the stairs. With strained pleasantries, it says, "Mommy made a good boy and friends some cookies." The mother gets to the bottom of the stairs. She drops the cookies on the ground.
What the fuck?
She's cut off by Goku.
I wanted those cookies, bitch! Weep!
The beast pulls a spear from me, and I slump into the ground. It turns to face its mother in a rage. Turns out it took its underwear off when it changed into the kimono. I hope this isn't the last thing I see to PNG. The monster is brandishing the bloody spear, wielding at its caretaker. This is my last chance. I force myself to stand, keeping as much pressure on my chest as I can. I stumble over to the bookshelf and push it over. It falls into the fire. Goku goes pale. It drops the spear and begins to desperately pulling the burning manga from the inferno. Its mother is in shock. I need to save myself, but I also have a duty to this world and its inhabitants. I pull out my crossbow and aim it. With years of expertise, I shoot a bolt directly into the mother's uterus. I must sterilize her, so that a horrendous mistake can never have a successor. Her cries of agony go unheard by the creature. I run across the room and up the stairs. Outside, I drain my entire bottle of Swallow. The lingering effects of the Chad decoction is the only thing keeping me conscious. Break the window of the van with a rock. Hotwire it and drive away as fast as I can.